I knew that, hey, I might be able to actually earn an income this way. I saw these guys that were in their 20s. If y'all know Ethan Godwin and Ryan Craddock, when I joined, they were like babies. I swear they were in their 20s. And I'm like, if these guys can do it, I can totally do it. And so I started hosting KLPs, which stands for Keto Life Party. And by the way, you all always feel free to stop us and ask us a question, because we get used to our vernacular, KLP, VKLP, and y'all new people are like, what is she talking about? So a Keto Life Party, you don't have to call it that way. You can call it a keto tasting. You can call it just a home party, whatever you want to call it. But in our community, that's what we refer to it as. So what I would do is many times I would attract people on social media. I might make a post of how good I feel. And if there were people that were local to me, I would invite them to one of these parties. Now, I own a photography studio, so I would actually host it at my photography studio. You can do KLPs anywhere. You can do them in churches. You can do them in Starbucks. You can do them at your house. You can do them in a park, wherever. And I started building my business that way, building and building. And that's really how I hit rank 6. That's how I hit rank 7, because as you hit 6, how do you get to 7? Help some other people get to 6. Did y'all know that? That's a pro tip right there. If you're at 6 and you want to go to 7, help some other people get to 6. So I started traveling to other communities, which I'm going to be going down to Nevada soon. I'm super excited to go down there at the end of this month and help Carrie get to 7. So we keep doing these parties. Now, what happened in 2020, y'all?
Mr. Biscuits, what are you doing here?
Okay, Zoom user is unmuting. I'm muting them. Okay, so in 2020, our entire world shut down. And what we were using as our team to build our business was no longer possible, longer available. So we had to make a shift. Now, I've been a business owner for going on 19 years. Okay, I've owned my own business for 19 years. I have not worked for anyone else other than myself for over 19 years. And the one tip I can give you is an entrepreneur, a business owner is always ready and willing to pivot. Okay, ready to pivot. So we just thought to ourselves, how can we still give people somewhat of a keto life experience, but do it virtually? How do we do that? And so we created this whole virtual keto life party. And that's actually what I'm going to share with you all today. We're going to do another Zoom where we dive into the in-person keto life party. Put a 2 in the chat if you feel like you love building belly to belly. You love feeling people's energy. You love that exchange of energy. Yes, I'm not surprised by that, Derek. You need to be in front of humans. Carrie, you need to be in front of other humans. I love this. Okay, awesome. That gives us as leaders some good feedback of knowing where to turn these trainings. Because keto life parties, still to this day, even though I do virtual keto life parties, because our team has expanded so large and we're not all in the same communities, we don't all have the same schedules. I will tell you still to this day, there is nothing like the magic of a keto life party. Because when you are standing in front of someone and they can look into your eyes and they can not only hear your story, but feel your story, and there is this exchange of energy, yes, those 100, and they can feel that exchange of energy. When I look in my back office at all of my customers, the ones that have been the customers the longest, that have stayed on the product the longest, who have asked me questions when they had bathroom issues or headaches, or they didn't know what this product was. Can I shift my smart shift? The ones who stay in contact with me and stay on product are ones that came in during Keto Life Party. 100%. Okay. Now 2020 happened and I had to pivot. So we came up with this virtual Keto Life Party. And today what I'm going to do is share with you all how you can have a similar experience, but through social media, And why I love this, I'm going to share with you guys, because put a 1 in the chat if you have ever invited someone to a guest call. We just did one Monday night. It was amazing. We had like 90 people on that guest call. Okay, so the calls are phenomenal. Those are great, right? Let me share with you how these virtual keto life parties are just a little different. And I'm going to have another person come on and share. Our team does these a lot. And someone who I consider an expert in hosting virtual keto life parties, she does them a lot consistently. They've been a big part of her business. She's going to share a little bit of her tips as well. But the reason why I love a virtual keto life party versus a guest call, I still use both. I will use every tool at my disposal. Can I get some praise hands in the chat? I will use every tool at my disposal to build my business because I got big freaking goals, right? But for this, I love it because it's more personal. It is a smaller, more intimate group. You usually have maybe 5 to 15 people on these. There's more accountability. There's more accountability for the promoters who are inviting to it. Because what I recommend is that a promoter, let's say Carrie, decides she's going to do a virtual keto life party. All she needs really is one other person, but you want to have about 2 other people. You want to have a host, you want to have an extra story, and you want to have your expert. Those 3 things. Okay. So now Carrie has decided she's going to host this. Here's where it becomes more accountable than a guest call. When you invite to a guest call, will any of the promoters on the guest call know if you actually invited people to it? No. It allows you to let yourself off the freaking hook. All right. It lets you let yourself off the hook. And let's be real here. Most of us are constantly looking for reasons to let ourselves off the hook. I don't care how great you are. I don't care how amazing of a rhino you are. That is human nature. But when you do these personal virtual keto life parties, you are all of a sudden are accountable because you're thinking, I've got Dustin coming to this virtual keto life party to be my expert. I need to make sure there's going to be people on it. Do y'all feel a little bit of pressure is good, you guys? Diamonds come from pressure. Okay, y'all get that? All right, they're also more fun. So that was a serious part. They're also more fun because we ask questions. This is another reason why I like the virtual keto life party. There are exchanges. They are interacting because as they interact and ask questions or they comment on our questions during the virtual keto life party, every time they comment, we put their name in for a drawing for a free 5-serving trial pack. Okay. So it encourages engagement. It encourages engagement, which on guest calls, we don't always get engagement from the people watching, right? On a virtual keto life party, we have a lot more engagement, which also means more community. That's what we're looking for, sticky glue. If I'm all, because look, I've done it all. I've done the building in person. I've done the big event. I have done just social media on TikTok. I have done it this way. All right. This is the combination. This is a combination. If you're building highly on social media and you're like, why do these customers just keep turning off their smart ship? Why do they just leave? Why don't they ever become promoters? This is your missing link. This is your missing link. It is called community. And community is not just you and that person. Community is this right here. Can I get like an amen in the chat for those of you? I see Lynn giving me praise hands. I appreciate you, my sister, my keto sister. Okay. Community is what makes us different. Community is our superpower. Community is really and truly what our business is. We are a community-based marketing business. So anytime you can create a microcosm, I don't know, I'm using big words. I am sorry. I drank a keto kick 5 minutes ago. It is kicking in. Anytime you can create this little amazing space for people to experience who we are, they're in. You understand? They don't know who we are by just attracting them through a TikTok video. Do you get me? Are you feeling me? Do you smell what I stepped in? Okay. Other things, follow up. Okay, Michael, you have like the best smile and you're smiling at me. And I just want you to know that I love when people laugh at my jokes. So you're now my favorite person. You're just distracting me up here in the corner of my view. So let's talk about follow-up. 95% of all of the people that that you will sell to are gonna come from, maybe Samantha, I'm laughing at you, are gonna come from follow-up. And has anybody ever heard of, who's the 10X guy? Put his name in the chat, you guys, the 10X. Oh, Grant Cardone. He has the top sales force in the world. The top sales force in the world. And one of my mentors went and spent a day with his sales force. And he asked them, he said, on percentage wise, how many of the people who join and buy in do on first contact and how many do through follow-up? And they said only 5% of people purchase on the first contact. Yet y'all are sitting in like crying your blues in the corner because you talked to Sally today and gosh darn it, she didn't order today. You are literally thinking that you're better than the top sales force in the world. This is a follow-up business. And through a virtual keto life party, it sets up the perfect follow-up system, which Erica is going to share with you all. Because if you're just doing the virtual keto life party and you are not focused on the follow-up, you lost the entire point. There are only 2 reasons to do a virtual keto life party. One, it's a reason to invite people and start conversation. And number 2, it's for follow-up. Y'all get that? Everything in the middle doesn't even matter that much. But everyone is focused on what's in the middle. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. None of that actually matters as much as the invite and the follow-up. Y'all got that? Carrie's like, yes. Okay. So this is also the reason why a virtual keto life party is so valuable is it is better in inviting and it is better for conversation than just your regular guest call. Because a regular guest call, I know because I've sent you all the language for that. Most of that comes from Kieran or Samantha or myself, and we're sending you the invitation. That invitation is just, hey, we've got this expert call tomorrow night. I know you've been interested in ketones. I thought you might enjoy it. Would you like me to send you the link? Okay, that's a nice little invite. That's great. It is not as powerful when it is your event and you are inviting it from your heart, your frame of reference, your pressure point. Does that make sense? Your invite is going to have a little bit more energy. So what I have for you all is a virtual keto life blueprint. Would you all like this? Mary, I love it. All right. This, and I can have Dustin or Louise send this out on Pulse. This is a virtual keto life blueprint. This isn't the virtual keto life blueprint. Why do I say that? You can mold this, you can adapt this, you can shift it, you can make it your own. This is just a virtual keto life blueprint. Does that make sense, everyone? Okay, all right. So I'm going to take you through the steps of how this works and what it looks like. Everybody ready? Okay. So the first thing that we do is we create, hold on, my dog wants the rest of my ketones. Crying. Okay. First thing that we do is we go and find, we schedule a date and a time with one of your team leaders or one of your team members. Why do I say that? Sometimes I'm not always available. So Carrie may reach out to Erica and say, hey, Erica, I want to do this virtual keto life party. You want to do it with me? And that's okay. Does that make sense? All right. So work with your, now leaders that are on here, I'll just give you a little pro tip. What I have done in the past is I create a Calendly link and it has my available dates and times if they want to schedule with me to be on the virtual keto life party, and the team can schedule with me. All right. So you're going to pick your day and your time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. These last 30 minutes. They are only 30 minutes. So I would say pick an evening or maybe a Saturday morning or a Sunday afternoon or evening. Doesn't matter, but just pick a time where the people that you are inviting will be able to watch it live. All right. The second thing you're going to do is set up a Zoom link. You're going to set up a Zoom link. Now, if you do not have a paid Zoom account, find one of your leaders who does, or you're going to have to actually go live in the event. You will not be able to stream into the event with Zoom unless you have the paid pro account. Everybody understand that? Feel free to stop me when you have questions. It's totally okay. All right. Next step, number 3, you're going to create a Facebook event. Put a 1 in the chat if you have never created a Facebook event before. All right, so we've got a couple people. I'm going to share my screen real quick. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because guess why? You can go to YouTube and you can type in, how do I set up a Facebook event? Click. All right, so I'm not going to spend much time on this because this is just a logistics technical thing that you can find out how to do this anywhere. And if you've been on a Zoom with me once, you've heard me say this many times. Not knowing how to do something is never an excuse not to do it. Steve's like, yes, she says this all the time. Not knowing how to do something is never an excuse not to do it. That is, again, you letting yourself off the hook because you feel a little uncomfortable, and nothing great happens inside that zone. If you're a little afraid to do this, that is the exact reason why you should do it. All right, if you feel that. So I'm going to share my screen. I have no idea what's going to be on my screen when I do this. It's always a little terrifying. So let me see. Let me see if I can pull up. I think I have it right. Okay, so I am in Facebook and I'm going to go to events. Let me close out these chats. Okay, I'm going to go to events. Now there is an option right here. Can you guys see this? I don't know who's, I can't see anybody. Can somebody unmute and make sure you can see, tell me that you can see my screen?
Yep, we're good, Kate.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So we have this option under event. It says create new event. And you're just going to click on that. Now, for the ad cover, our team typically just uses the same one. And we can send this out if you do not know how to create a graphic in Canva or anything like that. Again, don't let that stop you. Do not let something like, I don't know how to make a graphic in Canva, stop you from building a multi-million-dollar business. Okay. So I'm going to click add cover photo. I happen to have one. Our team usually uses the same one every time. It's right here. And I'm just going to click on that. And then what you name it is up to you. A lot of times we'll say, what Nat all about? Okay. And then I'm going to click my date. Let's say I'm going to do it Sunday. I'm going to do it at, oh, let's do an evening one. By the way, Dustin is recording this, so you can go back and watch it later. It is virtual. And I'm going to click other because we're going to be zooming into it. And then I've got details. Details are, I think I might have some saved here. Let me see if I've got it saved. No, I didn't save it. So details are going to be kind of like, I'm just going to type something up. What is Keto Nat? Why is everyone talking? And then I might list benefits, might list those down, whatever. It does not matter because most people aren't going to read your details anyway. All right. Then I'm going to add a co-host. A co-host, let's say I'm going to add Erica as my co-host because she's going to be doing this with me. She's going to be one of the either storytellers or she's going to be an expert That way she can post in this event. She can go live in the event. She has everything accessed. Okay, that's it. Then I'm going to create the event. That's it, you guys. That's the creation part. I'm going to click stop share. That's the creation part. That's the part that many of you that feel not technical are freaking out about and not doing this because you don't know how to set up a Facebook event. Again, what do we say about not knowing how to do something? Please type it in the chat if you believe it. The next thing I'm going to tell you is invite. This is number one most important thing other than follow-up is the invite. You are going to have to invite a lot of people, okay? Just like with the Keto Life Party, if you invite 10, one might show, right? So you're going to invite a lot of people. Now, here's where I see the biggest mistake. People go to the invite, the event, and they just click invite and start checking all their friends. Have you ever in your life attended a Facebook event because someone sent you an invite like that? I have never in all of my Facebook world life ever attended an event because someone just clicked that little invite button. Ever, ever, ever. It has to be a personal invitation. It has to be a personal invitation. So on this blueprint, we even have language for you to send to people, okay, to invite them personally to attend this virtual event. Now, let's see. You're going to send invitations to people who have expressed interest, people who are already customers, people who have trial packs, people who you think would be interested. And you're going to send an invitation. And you're going to, once they read that invitation, if they say yes, then you go to the event, you click the little invite button and you invite them through the event and you grab the event link and you send it to them. Now, it is very important that every person that you say yes, you are tracking. Just like with a guest call, you're going to want to send them a reminder about 10 to 15 minutes ahead of time that you're about ready to go live. That makes sense? I know that I'm getting like deeper into this. Remember, we're going to send this out and you will have this as a recording. All right. Let me go to my next page of the Keto Life Party. Okay. The day of the event. Erica, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Somebody else's voice besides mine for a second. Okay, Erica, you do this all the time. This is a big part of your business, your team. Tell everyone, what do you do on the day of the event, prepping up to the event?
Yes. So on the day of the event, y'all think of this as like an actual event. So inside of that, you can make posts. So if I'm sharing my story or I'm the host or the expert, I'll go in and I will put my story in the comment section on the discussion part of the event page. And then I'll encourage, if one of my customers, my promoters is going to be sharing their story, that they post theirs as well. If Kate's being expert, she'll post her story there. And it's important when you're sharing your story, not just to say, come learn about how this is going to help you lose fat. Like, you want to touch on your pain points. And so I'm not going to get into like how to write your story, but you want to talk about how life was like before you found ketones. What were you struggling with? That's what people are going to read. That's why they're showing up. They want to know how they can make the things that they're struggling with better. And so what were you struggling with? And then how have ketones made that better for you? And what are you excited about? So you just share your story with your before and better picture. And then as people are on social media that day, they're going to get a notification that a post was made in their event page. They're going to go to that, see it, and then comment. So you're already engaging them in a conversation and they're feeling that community before you even go live with the virtual Keto Life Party. So that's one of a biggest tip I can give for how you can engage the day of.
I would also just add to that, if you're doing a drawing, there's two other things I would add. If you're doing a drawing, go live in the event during the day and talk about how they can win. That during the event, you're going to be asking questions. Every time they comment, their name gets put into a drawing. Whatever you want to do, that's up to you. That's not something that you have to do. And then the other thing that we do often is we post the campfire video in there. That way they can watch it and have a little bit of a frame of reference before coming to the event. Does that make sense, everybody? But Erica said your stories, remember, we know being part of this community, there's nothing more powerful than our stories. So everyone who is participating in that event is posting their stories during the day. And if they have a before and better picture, we're posting those as well. All right.
Hey, can I,
yeah,
real quick, when you're sharing your stories and you're putting it in writing, be very careful not put anything medical. You don't want to make any medical claims, and do not use the word weight loss. You will get reported. So use fat loss if you're going to talk about losing body fat, but don't make any medical claims and don't use the words weight loss.
Super good tip. Super good tip. Okay. Now let's talk about the event itself. And I'm just going to go over this briefly because you will get this. But you've got a host, and the host is usually the person that this is their event. These are amazing for brand new promoters, by the way, but great for everyone. So it is their event, and they're just saying, hey, everyone, welcome. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you being here. I invited you because I'm having this experience, and they tell their story. They also share how to win. They're going to talk about, we're going to ask you questions. You can ask us questions. Every time you comment, we're going to put your name in the drawing. They're going to introduce the next speaker who is also going to share their story. Then they're going to introduce the expert, quote unquote, who we're not going deep diving into science. This isn't like Keto Academy. We're just giving them the basics. We're giving them the basics of what ketones are and going over the benefits. All right. We usually go over the top 3 flavors. We talk about getting started. We go over the bundles. We even share our screen to show them the different bundles of how to get started. Someone talks about Smart Ship. Someone talks about free product. And then, of course, someone talks about joining the team. Why this is so valuable, I would say the majority of our promoters come from virtual Keto Life parties. I'm looking at my team. Would you guys agree? Or Keto Life parties, one or the other. They come from Keto Life Party or virtual Keto Life Party the most, because what they see is us working together. What they feel is people who care about each other. What they experience is positive. All right. And then we do, let's see, we close with a thank you. We tell them we're going to announce the winner within 24 hours. So the next day, 24 hours later, we go live into the event and share who is the winner. Now, all of that is great. If you've noticed, the what part of the actual event is not the most important part, okay? Erica is now going to take you through how do we follow up, because this is where the magic is. Erica, you want to share with them the follow-up process, why we do it and how we do it?
Definitely. So like Kate mentioned in the beginning, you want to have your list of everybody you've sent an invitation to, because afterwards, whether you saw them on the Zoom or not, or whether they commented or not, you're going to send them a message. And so the message might say, hey, Sally, that was such an amazing call. I absolutely loved Kate's story about how she lost her brain fog. What did you relate to the most? You're having a conversation with them. You're not saying, hey, Sally, I saw you were on the call. What package do you want to start with? Just don't do that. So you're engaging them in a conversation. If you don't know that they were on the call, like you're not sure if they actually watched or not, maybe they're going to watch the replay, then you're going to message them and say, hey, Sally, that was such an amazing call. Did you get a chance to check it out? And then wait for them to respond. If they come back and say, no, I missed it, my kids had a crisis and I couldn't get on, then you say, no worries, it was actually recorded. I can tag you in the replay. Would you like me to tag you in the replay? And then you're going to go back and tag them. You're going to tag everybody in the replay anyways, but that way they know that you're doing that. So that's really important. And then you just have a conversation with them. And if they say, yeah, I totally related to Kate's story. Awesome. I'm so excited for you to try this. Do you know which bundle or where you want to start? Or do you have any questions I can help answer? And you're just having a back and forth conversation, but you won't know if you don't follow up. So it is really, really important. Most people are not going to reach out to you and say, hey, I want to order. Like they're not going to do that. Every once in a while they will, but it's kind of like that post and pray. We don't post and pray. We're not going to do a VKLP and then pray somebody reaches out to us. So that follow-up is really important.
Ooh, that was so good. Did you guys hear that? Like, people will not message you back and say, I'm ready to get started. That rarely happens. That rarely happens. It is all about follow-up. And so that is a virtual keto life party. We are Zooming into a Facebook event, and there's so much power in that because on Facebook, we can tag people, the recording stays up there. You can even, pro tip, write this down. Once you've invited everyone, people get the option of going, maybe, no. Before the event, you can actually force invite people, the pro tip, and you can, Erica's like, yes, you can force invite and it accepts the invitation for all the people, which is really great because when you do that, that means they're going to see everything in that event. Okay. But the whole purpose of this is creating conversations and reasons to follow up. That is the whole purpose. So you have two options here. You've got keto life parties and you have virtual keto life parties. I do both. I do both. Why do I do both? Because I have traveled the country. I've lived all over the country and not everyone I know lives in my hometown. Okay. Does that make sense? So I do both. I have always done both. It just wasn't called a virtual keto life party, but now it is. So I hope that was helpful for you. I'm going to give you one action step. I'm going to give you an action step. It suggests that you schedule a KLP or VKLP immediately following Keto Academy. Put it on your calendar, and as soon as you have, send it to your leader, to one of your leaders, one of the people that you're working with, and let them know that you have it scheduled. See who can be on there with you. It is it's not that it's required to have someone with you, but we are community-based marketing. And what has worked best for our team is seeing us work together. Does that make sense? Working together. If you are leading a team on this call, I highly recommend you just reach out to your team and say, hey, who wants to do a virtual keto life party with me? Instead of sitting at your desk waiting for your team to reach out to you. Ouch. Did that hurt a little bit? It might have. Did that sting? It might have. So reach out to your team, reach down, reach up, reach sideways, just do them. Just do them. I am telling you, they are huge. They are powerful. They are community building. They build sustainability. They build sticky glue. So whether you're doing this in person or virtual, I highly recommend it. Schedule one for immediately following Keto Academy. Do you know why you should always schedule an event after an event? Your belief and your certainty and your energy is so high, you are covered in armor. You are covered in armor. No one can penetrate it. And that is exactly when you should go charging. That is when your rhino skin is at its thickest. And that's when you should charge. Does that make sense? So you want to always have an event scheduled following an event. Okay. So schedule that. I will, did you guys want this? Do you guys want this blueprint? Do we want it? Do we want it? Okay. Liz is like, yes, yes. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure Dustin has this. I don't know when it will get pulsed out, but we'll make sure that you all have access to that. You can mix it up and change it. Does anyone have any questions? Anyone need any clarity? Osa.
They're unmute.
No,
Okay.
I got one for you.
Oh, now
Okay.
they're all coming.
That's okay. Bring them.
Okay,
I'll
I'm
let
just
you go first.
Okay.
okay. I'll go first. I was just confirming that zooming into the Facebook event requires the pro Zoom thing, the paid Zoom.
Yeah. Yes, it does. I believe that it does. Cameron can maybe, but here's another thing. On this blueprint, there's this little asterisk right here, and it says Zoom no longer goes live directly into Facebook events. Your leader will share how to make this happen. So this is some of the technical stuff that I do not want you to get bogged down with, because you figure this out. Okay, you figure this out. What we have done is we Zoom it into a group. Any group, just has to be a public group. We literally have a group just called Keto Life Party. That's the only thing it is used for. We Zoom it into that public group, and then from the public group, we share it into the event. You used to be able to Zoom right into events, but you can no longer do that. So that's how we're doing it. If you do not have a pro Zoom, you do not have a leader that has that, guess what else you can do, you guys? Just go live inside the event. You can do a dual live. You can do dual lives with you and someone else inside that Facebook event. Never about the how, it is always about the what. So figure that out and do it. If you can't do the Zoom, just go live in there at that time. Okay, someone else had a question.
Hey, so the question that I got is, this also applies if you're to do this in person, right?
So in person's a little different, only because you actually have ketones there, right? Like you can shake up your ketones, you can let people taste it. A keto life party goes a little slower, but that's because you're diving deeper into the people that are there. It's not necessarily all about your story at a personal keto life party. It is more important to know why that person's there. Whereas on our virtual keto life parties, we don't get to do that as much. Like we'll list the benefits and we'll say, hey, put in the comments what benefit you want most. But this is why in person is so powerful, is I can say, Carrie, why are you here? Like where can better show up in your life? How would that impact you? And I'm going to have her spend more time talking about how crappy her life is than I'm going to spend talking about ketones. Because what she doesn't know is she is talking herself into buying some ketones. I just can so that's kind of the difference there. Definitely in person is my number one, but virtual keto life parties are very powerful when you're building a large organization that is spread across multiple states and countries.
Kate, there's a question in the chat from Dina Smith. She's asking, can you only do this on Facebook or can you do it on Instagram? Can you live it, have a second device and go in live on Instagram?
So here's the thing with Instagram. I don't know that you can always go live in Instagram. You can do dual live in Instagram, and you should be doing those. You should be doing those on your personal Facebook. You should be doing those on personal Instagram. What I don't know that you can do, and someone who has more Instagram experience on here might chime in, I don't know that you can set up an actual event and be able to do all the pregame and the postgame, which the pregame is everyone posting their stories. The postgame is tagging everyone and following up with everyone that they watched the live. I guess you could do that on an Instagram live. It's not the same thing. It's something you should definitely be doing if you're not going live on Instagram. I'm telling you all right now, 2023 is the live year. That is the year of It's actually been that way every year. But for me personally, it is fear of live. You should be going live on all of your social media, just sharing who you are, because the magic, yes, ketones feel like magic, but the real magic is you. The real magic is you. People don't get your magic in just a 60-second short video. Dustin actually hit me with this one time because I was doing all this stuff on TikTok, and he goes, I watch your TikTok. He goes, I don't even know who you are. That is not who you are. And I'm like, what do you mean? That's me? Like, look, that's me. And he goes, you are such a badass. You are such an amazing like individual that's building this business. And no one can tell that from your little 60-second TikTok video. And I was like, oh, you're so right. So when I started going live, everything started. Lives for president. Yes, Samantha, lives for president. That's where it's at. Any other questions? We are going so long. Lives bring me promoters. Awesome, Lynn. Okay, I want you guys to put a 3 in the chat if you are committed to doing this and adding this to your business. And I want you to know that we're all looking at that. We're all looking at that, and we see you. So you may have business partners on here watching, and they're going to keep you accountable to that. My last piece of advice is the same advice I'll give to anyone doing a keto life party or a live or a TikTok or a reel or a virtual keto life party. It is not about the one time. It is about doing this consistently. When you schedule a keto life party, schedule your second one. When you schedule your virtual keto life party, schedule the second one. And do not marry the results of this. Marry the process. Sometimes we have one person show up. Sometimes we have 20. We can't predict that. So we marry the process and we keep moving forward. And that is how you build a multi-million-dollar business. Y'all got it? Consistency over and over. All right, Dustin, I talked a little long.
That's right. Hey, give Kate some love in the chat. KLPs are an amazing thing. Virtual, in-person. In-person is what we started with. Virtual is a strategy you can use. It's just a matter about executing and do it. I would suggest right now, if you haven't already, hit one of your, if you're committed to doing this, hit one of your teammates. Bobby, hit Mary and go, hey, listen, let's do it together. And just grab 2 people and do it together. If it's your leader or maybe somebody that you're just working really closely with, just let's execute this. Last thing I'm going to say is I'm going to stay tuned. We're going to pulse out something tomorrow, just a little activity Zoom around inviting to the KLP or the Keto Academy. Remember, it's just about the invite. The invite creates the conversation. And so we have a free educational event. If we do it from our heart in the right way, we can not only make this the biggest event in the history of the world from a keto perspective, but we can also help you start to expand and build your business and close out the middle of the month higher than ever. So once again, Kate, appreciate you so much. We'll get the pulse out to everybody. So I'll get that information out to you guys as soon as possible, and have an awesome day. Also the schedule for the month. We'll get that out too.